I'm going to start out showing you guys how to take any of these ordinary objects that you might find in your garden or your kitchen and turn them into plants, because we're going to continue the plant project, but it should be pretty easy. I'm going to show you guys how to take lettuce. We're going to cut this part off and then use this part to grow another lettuce. We're going to use this sweet potato. Same thing, we're going to cut the onion and then use the bottom part to make a new plant. We're going to cut open the tomato and peppers and take out the seeds and use those. We'll use this smaller potato just the same way as the sweet potato. These are probably the easiest. If you find garlic, you can see they're already starting to grow, and we just put them in the refrigerator. I do also have some beans. These are lima beans that I got from the grocery store. And then I'm also going to show you guys how to use clippings and make a plant out of clippings. This is the equipment that you're going to need. So we have some containers, whether they are Dixie cups or regular cups or even glasses, and even I have a small pot. You're going to need some paper, toothpicks, a knife if you're going to be doing lettuce or tomatoes or peppers or something like that, smaller knife, scissors, Sharpie, a regular pen, little pieces of paper. First thing I'm going to show you is how to take lettuce and regrow lettuce. So the first thing I'm going to do, since we're pretending like these are table scraps, I'm going to go ahead and cut it. And so make sure that you leave enough of this bottom part so that way it can regrow. If you cut too much, it's not going to work. So I'm just going to cut it here. And this is what we're going to use. Now that you've got your cut lettuce head, we're going to put holes or put toothpicks inside of it to suspend it, help suspend it into the water. So I'm going to take 3 of them so they are suspended like so. But this is a little bit too high. I'm going to readjust it so that way the bottom part sinks more into the water. And so now, as you can see, we've got it's a nice dip inside the water, and now we just have to fill the glass with water and then let it go for about a couple weeks or so until we start getting some roots growing in the bottom and we get sprouts at the top. And so now this is pretty much set up. The only thing I have left to do is I have to write out a label, lettuce, today's date, and tape it on here. And then I set it on a windowsill. It's ready to go. What I'm going to show you is how to do a sweet potato. So since this already has a root kind of growing down this side, this is the side that I'm going to use. I could cut it anywhere from here along here, and it will work just fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it actually in the middle, okay? And when I cut it, I'm going to have this part. Again, I'm going to use the toothpicks to help suspend it above the water. And this case, I'm going to use these regular drinking cups. Put it in there. You don't have to fill it with water, but you have to get the tip at least exposed in water. The next thing I'm going to do is I would use the Sharpie, label this sweet potato, and put today's date. Next, we're going to have onion. And again, same with the lettuce, you just want to cut off the bottom part. And this is the part that actually is going to grow. We don't need this other part. So if you're cooking and you like to use onion, you would cut this part out, use this part for cooking, and then this part could be, which you would normally throw away, could be reused to grow a new plant. So the way I'm going to get this set up is the same way I got all the other ones set up. I'm going to put toothpicks in around the perimeter of the onion. Set it up like so, and fill it up with water. And just make sure that the bottom part is exposed to the water. Label it, and probably the easiest thing out of all these to do is garlic. As you can see, the garlic is already growing. You got the green stuff kind of growing on this side. And just to kind of get things started, I'll put it in a bigger pot later, but I'm going to get these Dixie cups ready. You've seen me do this before. I poke holes in them so that way we have drainage and it doesn't drown. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put some soil in here. And then I'm going to take one clove, that's all I need. I'm going to take the clove that's got the biggest green coming out of it, which is going to be this one right here. So I'll take this one, plop it in. So you notice that I put this in first, plop it in like so, label it, and I'm good to go. That's it. That's as easy as that. And as long as you keep the soil moist, it will grow fine. Setup for peppers and tomatoes are the same thing. I'm just going to demonstrate for tomatoes. I'm going to demonstrate for tomatoes, and it's just a matter of cutting it open and pulling out one or more of the seeds and then plopping them into the soil. Again, you're going to want to put holes in the bottom of this using something to put holes in. Put soil in here, and you're going to push the soil so that way you make the holes and everything is set up for us as soon as I get the seeds out. So I'm just going to take this, slice it down the middle. Okay, and we got all of these seeds, and I'm just going to kind of pull out a couple of those seeds here, and any of them will work. The more the better, but you don't want to go too crazy. And so all of these little things are seeds, and I'm just going to take some of them, and put them in here, label it, and I'm good to go. I would do the same thing for the peppers, and I'm going to do the same thing for the peppers also. So if you don't want to go to the grocery store and all you have access to is a yard of some sort, either your backyard, your front yard, or a vacant lot, you can always find a dandelion. So I picked a dandelion yesterday, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take they have the little fluff stuff, which helps it fly out. But what I'm really interested in is these little black seeds that are in there. And the way I get that set up is, again, I'm going to poke a hole in here like so, and just plop them in there. I can leave them straight on there like that. Just as easy as that. Just keep the soil moist. Make sure you have the holes in the bottom. Label it, and they should grow. I mean, they grow everywhere anyway, so that is the setup for dandelion. The next one I wanted to show you guys is to set up the beans, okay? So here's a package of beans. Now, a lot of times the beans that you would use are going to be you can regrow. I like using black beans because I like black beans. I'm not a big fan of the lima beans, but lima beans, this is all they had available at the grocery store. So, again, you set up your Dixie cup or some type of cup with soil, and all you do is just plop it in, keep the soil moist, make sure you have holes in the bottom, and you're good to go. So we got the dandelion and the beans, and I gotta make sure I label them so I know the difference, because looking at the two of them, you would never know unless you label, which is why labeling is so